We would like to thank our guests for being here today for this program. Please make sure that you all go and vote on June 9th for our candidates for Family Court Judge. Also, any information that you would like for our guests will be in the description box. And please make sure that you like and subscribe to DigitalWill.
He's a big wig.
And that's, I drove by there the other day. It was great. It was
Big,
great.
yeah. The Labor Union is over there.
That road in front used to be closed and they had it open and you drove through it. It doesn't even look like a stadium. It looks so
Yeah,
beautiful.
it is, and it's nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
And so we can
Yeah.
Subscribe to DigitalWill TV. Watch and subscribe. This is Yvette Chevailer for Family Court Judge, Department I. Subscribe now.
We are actually here to showcase some of the candidates for the forthcoming elections in the city of Las Vegas. As you keep watching, keep subscribing, ask your questions in the comment box, and like our videos. Thank you. God bless.
Casing from DigitalWill, and so continue, like he said, to like and share. If you have any questions, you all just make sure that you can ask them down in the comment section, and we will make sure that we answer those questions to our candidates for the judge that's coming up for our upcoming election.
Okay, currently we're going to ask most of the persons that are in our studio today their name and what they stand for we to also listen and benefit from them also.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, why not? Thanks, MITA. So this is Yvette Chevailer, and I'm a candidate for Clark County Family Court Judge, Department I. But I'm also a community member. I've lived here for 40 years, originally from Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico and raised in the Bronx of New York City. I was a school teacher for many, many years and a high school counselor at Von Tobo, at Fremont, at Clark High School. I taught Spanish at Bonanza High School. Worked at pupil personnel for continuation school for kids that were involved in the juvenile justice system.
Right.
And I've been involved in community service as an administrator and director of social services for an Indian tribe. And I was involved in licensing, placing, and investigating foster homes for the foster care system in Clark County for a few years. And also managed a program for mental health for mentally ill felons, integration program helping mentally ill felons get back into the community with jobs and homes and services to support them through case management and the mental health court system here. I'm running for family court because I love children and I love helping the community, and I see this as a great way to wind up my career. This is not a stepping stone up, it's a nice way to help and bring all my wisdom to the bench, and people need people that are compassionate and understanding, and I have that. Thank you.
Thank you for
It's a
sharing
long
that.
introduction.
Awesome.
But DigitalWill, watch it, subscribe, and keep watching. Ask your questions. Thank you.
That's awesome. So I have just a few questions, as a community member and also as an educator. We just have just a few questions, if you don't mind. So,
Sure.
So just going forward, what is your, what do you think, here in Vegas, we are right now experiencing the effects of the COVID-19, and as a tourist city, we are getting hit pretty hard with our economy. And so what do you think is the biggest challenge that we're going to have to kind of overcome that? Because you think maybe as far as families and advocating for those families and their jobs and things of that nature, what do you think that we're going to have to do to kind of overcome that to benefit our families?
Well, I think it is extremely important that all of us who are advocates and who have skills that we can offer people to ameliorate stress and help with family conflict, get involved and make sure that we're monitoring the children out there so that there's not an increase in physical or mental abuse, especially physical abuse. Because when families are stressed, I come from a family where my mother was very abusive, so I understand child abuse because I lived it. And so, and I worked really hard to stop it with my own children. But I also know that when people are under extreme stress, but whether it's financial or just confinement or unemployment and all of that, limited resources, that a lot of times people lash out at their children and take it out on the kids. And so I think this is a time where all of us that have a stake in making sure that kids are safe, reach out to kids, even if it's through church groups or through community groups, supermarkets, wherever you see a child, dentist's office, wherever you see kids, checking to make sure that they're healthy and that they're safe. And that's going to be a challenge because people that are on long-term unemployment feel desperate and take it out on their kids. And it's very important that teachers and counselors and people involved in the church reach out to families and try to help these kids find a way to cope and to avoid, protect themselves from that lashing out.
Awesome.
Very important.
So like as an educator, because I just moved to Las Vegas by way of South Carolina, and so this area is pretty new to me, but I've been educating here for the past few years that I have been in Las Vegas. And so, but it doesn't matter, like across the nation, but what is something as far as our scholars are concerned that do you think maybe should be implemented for us to help them during this time? I know we've been doing, I've been teaching, online virtually, and we have lots of scholars who, have had various issues, even the fact that, they're the ones that have to take care of their siblings because their parents are working or trying to work and still make a way. So what do you think, or what are some things that we can kind of implement, I guess, school-wide and community-wide to kind of help those scholars, just in case, too, we have something like this happen again?
Yeah, I think that we are a society that is becoming way too reliant on computers, and it makes me sad because I have 9 grandchildren. Okay, so I watch what's going on, and it makes me sad to see how kids are glued to these iPhones and glued to these tablets and glued to television and video games. I have respect for that technology, and I enjoy it myself. We're doing it right now, reaching out to the community by different modes. So I respect it, I embrace it, but I also think that we need to make sure that kids get to play. I mean, playing and working off that energy is so important to good health, to building an immune system back up, because honestly, if you think about it, we're isolating kids and families to prevent the spread of COVID-19, but then we're minimizing their immune systems against other germs that are then going to go attack them when they open up the system, because they really need to get exposed to different germs and bacteria and bugs that are out in society, in the air, on the streets, wherever, with each other. And so I think that we need to work on really an intervention, immediate intervention that embraces some sort of playing for kids. We need to send all these recreation people that are sitting home out to neighborhoods and do social distance kickball or kick the can or stickball or something. I mean, they shouldn't be sitting in their homes all 24/7. I think the gym teachers, the PE teachers should go to neighborhood parks and do social distancing basketball, or even if it's one kid at a time shooting hoops. And then in 6 feet apart, sitting in benches 6 feet apart, whatever, doing sit-ups while they're doing sit-ups 6 feet apart. One kid's shooting, the other one's shooting one-on-one or whatever, and not playing with masks on, because that could cause lack of breathing, But I think that we need to attack that right away, because if we're going to have this hot summer here come now June, July, and August and September, and the kids are not going to school, that lack of activity is hurting their blood and their entire immune system and their entire psyche. So we really need kids to get outside and play. safely, but get out and play. And we have all those recreation centers. If people don't want, they don't want them in a building because of COVID,
right.
they can just line them up 10 feet apart. You do sit-ups, you do jumping jacks,
Right.
you do walk in place, and you shoot hoops, and you rotate through a recreation center 10 feet apart. You know, I mean, as long as they're not sick, they should be able to go out and play.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think it's very important.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. And that's a nice contribution from our judge to be. And we're going to also be letting other participants in this show for today to also introduce themselves and also ask the candidates what they expect from her. Eventually, she gets on to be the judge in Las Vegas. We have here a gentleman, and can you a little bit tell our viewers
Sure.
your name?
Hi, folks. My name's Ian Young, not old. And I work for God. I'm in the people helping people business. And I'm so amazed. I just love hearing what you're doing and what you're about, and look forward to supporting you in every way that we can. It's all about it's all about our children and our families, and that's what you stand for. So I just want to reach out and help you in every way I can, and help you help your families to do more. And I'm not alone. See, my Jackie, my partner Jackie, she's a mom too. She's a mom, a grandmom, and a vet.
Yes.
And you guys clicked as soon as she walked in the door, of course, because
Sure did.
we're here to give and serve and help in every way we can. And we're actually partners in the water business.
Yes,
We
we
actually
are.
give free water that heals and helps. And actually, by the way, when we're talking about helping families, this is Change Your Water, Change Your Life.
That's right.
And our campaign with Jackie here is give and you shall receive. And so we're giving you water
Oh,
for
thank
you,
you
your
so much.
family, and
Thank you so
unlimited
much. I
amounts
really
of water.
appreciate it.
And it's
All
Change Your
right.
Water, Change Your Health.
I'm gonna drink
And
this.
I will go on another time about the water, but we're looking forward to supporting you and giving for your family.
Awesome.
And actually, this studio, I saw you bring out some of that other water that you have to pay for and buy. So just so you know, families, when you spend almost $5,000 a year on water, and we have a home-based business with this that every family should do. I mean, just as a
Absolutely.
working function.
Home
Not
entrepreneurship.
only for your health and your wealth and your good welfare. And this water really does change your life. So I want to talk more about that. And what I really want to do is help you, help the families that you're supporting. We're here local. You can reach me at PHP Diamond. Stands for People Helping People. And Diamond, D-I-A-M-O-N-D, because we know how diamonds are formed and we know how they're made. And so that's phpdiamond@gmail.com. And we're local here in Las Vegas, but we're global too. And we like to help. This not only give you free water, but show you what we're doing and really make a difference. When my friend came to me and told me that he came to town a couple months ago, and I'd worked with this big-hearted gentleman for a long time, different times. And he came back, and it was March 16th when he called me, and he said, Ian, they call me Ian, I'm coming into town. Can we meet for dinner? Well, sure. I could use a dinner. It's my first time when he came back into town. So anyway, we met for dinner, and I've done a lot of different businesses with this gentleman over the years. Like I said, big heart, and that's why I agreed to meet him. And before we even sat down, I said, I'm not interested in anything. I says, I've been there, done that kind of thing, and been really chasing, and now I'm just really tired. I says, the only way I'm going to listen You know, the only way I want to do something is if we can really and truly save lives. It was March 16th. And make a true difference. I said, I'm tired of chasing this and chasing that and doing this and that. I said, I really, you know, that's it. You know, I thought we'd just have a nice dinner in Chinatown and call it a day. He says, I'm really glad you said that. And that's why I'm with this. Out of all the millions of companies out there that I get hit with everything every single day as a home-based business expert for years. And this company is tremendous, what it can really make a difference for people and their lives. It's already changed lives. 45 years in business, this company.
And
Call me, phpdiamond
okay.
at gmail.com. That's my email.
And this water, can you a little bit highlight how this water is being
Well, just one of the
produced?
things about the water itself by drinking it. By drinking this water, this is actually it's this medical device right here that's on the label. This medical device has been around since, well, for 45 years. The company is out of Osaka, Japan. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's been saving lives of people forever. It makes 7 different types of water, this new machine does. And one of them, this one that I'm holding in my hand, is actually the highest antioxidant that you could put into your system, bar none. I don't know how many, I forget how many vegetables and things you'd have to eat to even match a couple glasses of this. So it not only detoxifies you as soon as you start drinking it, and you'll feel the difference. You'll know the difference. Me, myself, since March 16th, I'm a product of the product. I mean, my friends can tell you.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I have energy, all right. But even better, my whole system has been cleansed and so much better. But it is the highest antioxidant. It does make 7 types of water. It's actually a medical device because one of the waters that it makes, it's what they use to clean surgical instruments. It's a high, and you could use it for cleaning everything. It kills bacteria, it kills viruses, okay, on surfaces and everything. Plus, you can gargle with it, use it. I mean, I caught up, one night I woke up with a sore throat. I got a little scared, because every time I woke up with a sore throat, it meant something. Anyway, I started gargling with our 2.5 water, gone, whatever it was. And then here's the thing too. We can clean fruit. We make another type of water that cleans all the toxins off of the fruit. And that's one of the biggest things, and people are dying of cancer and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I don't say that it does anything to cure everything, but give it a shot, or come on, you know, try out the water, change your life, and you'll see is what I want to tell you. Get in touch and let's help families.
Right.
You know,
That's
our
another
things,
great way to change
we're
the
helping
water.
families
Right.
from the
Support
inside
the
out.
Right.
And not only financially, but, you know, health is wealth, and that's our project. Health is wealth,
Okay.
and given you shall receive.
Are there any locations that the community and
Well,
families
right
can
now,
come?
just get in touch with me through this, you know.
Through the email?
Well, yeah, email, and I'll set up so we deliver.
Do you have any
And we'll have different
social media
times.
accounts that they can visit? Any social media as far as?
Well, right now, I just want to email, so this way I can give them the right information in the right way.
Okay,
And that way I can fulfill on what I say,
awesome.
you know, because this way I can fulfill on what I say.
Can you provide your email just one more time so
Yeah,
that
it's
the community can?
PHP stands for People Helping People, and then Diamond, DIAMOND, at gmail.com.
Perfect.
It's an easy
And,
email.
From
Right.
Jackie, and we help
Sorry,
families.
can you a little bit tell
Oh,
us,
Jackie.
Jackie, this water, is it free or is there any?
You can receive it free for up to 2 weeks. We'll deliver it for you.
Okay.
I like to change out, well, I don't really change it out because we go through it enough very fast. I have 3 grandchildren under 5 and my son and his wife, so we go through the water pretty quickly. But about 3 days I'll get a new big water,
5 gallons.
5-gallon fill, and we're loving it. We will deliver a gallon to you every 3 days, to see if you like it, to see how it's working for you.
Right.
And there's, like he was talking about, there's different types of water levels, whether it's the beauty water you spray on yourself,
Yeah, we didn't even get into all
or,
those details.
or the other types
but
of water, but
just so you
it's
know, too,
fabulous for the area.
And you got to admit, we're already feeling results. Like even your daughter-in-law has already lost some weight or something.
Yeah,
do I
she's already
understand?
starting to have this thing in the middle. You know, this
I mean,
part
this-
right here, she's already starting to
So-
get that.
This water, can it also be like extended to other states?
Oh,
It is,
yes,
we're around the
it's
world.
an international company.
Oh, okay,
The
awesome.
United States is a little slow in carrying it.
So wherever you are listening to us, start placing an order for this water. It detoxify, right?
Well, right now,
And,
if they just send me their information
Okay.
and we'll start conversing, that way we could do it, we could do it right. We'll get them the water as soon as possible. That's what just it is. That's why we give it away. We just want people to drink it, start using it, get the benefits, proofs in the pudding, you know.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's our marketing system. We give
Wow.
it. Given you shall receive.
Wow. So for you say
and then people can get their own.
deliver this water for free, like 3
Yeah.
times or what?
Well, we'll get them started. You
So
know.
once they place an
Yeah.
order for it, wow, once they place an order for it, you could deliver this
Yeah,
water for
yeah,
free, right?
yeah.
So start placing your orders and you get your water. No
I
matter
just
where
like
you
to-
are
I
in the
just like
United
to be able to
States,
give them all the
you
information.
are listening to us worldwide, just keep placing orders for this water.
We're in 174 countries. Companies multi-billion-dollar companies. This isn't small, so we're able to help our families and each and every family. You know.
Good. Yeah,
So we
thank you
will.
so much for coming into our studio today, and
We're helping
keep
the
subscribing
community.
to us. DigitalWill TV. You go on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are right there. Ask your questions. If you have questions, go down to the comments section. Ask your questions, and we'll be willing to answer some of those questions effectively. Thank you so much. And we gonna ask Tamika to usher our candidates to the podium for her to be able to let our viewers and all the electorates get to know her manifesto. Thank you.
And thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I hope so. I'm
Judge.
praying.
Yes, you
Looking
are.
forward to voting for you.
I'm looking forward
My pleasure.
we're looking
My
forward to
pleasure.
supporting you.
I appreciate
you
it,
know,
and I
working
need it
and
as
helping-
well.
Helping
Introduce her.
any way we can.
All right, so we have our candidate for District 11.
District I.
District I, excuse
It's
me.
okay.
It's
Too many
11,
numbers.
1. District I judge. And if you can approach the podium, and then we will, sorry, I'm looking over there, and we will make sure that we listen carefully to see what she has to offer for our community, and hopefully we can come up with some things to better the Las Vegas area, and especially those communities that are in need. Okay, thank you so much.
You want me to approach that?
Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
Sure.
And I love your idea. Love it.
Let me hire. So I'm Yvette Chevailer Lopez, candidate for Clark County Family Court Judge. And if I think about why you should vote for me and support me as a future Clark County Family Court Judge, I need to think about why people end up in family court and what their interaction with judges is all about, because this is about giving the community and giving the patrons and the customers of the family court good service. That's what it's about. You can't want to be a judge unless you want to help people, and you can't want to be a judge unless you care about people, children and families, and are willing to be a conduit of healing, because family court is a place where most people do not go there because they're having a good time. Now, there are adoptions that are a wonderful time. There are children who are placed for adoption or who become free for adoption, and when people finally have that judge order an adoption, those seem to be beautiful, happy times. And there are times where people have their children removed because of a child protection case, and they work a reunification plan, and they're successful, and eventually they get their children back placed with them. And those are happy times, because that shows that people have made accomplishments and have made sacrifices on behalf of their children so that they can go back into being the permanent parent that they were meant to be. So those are times where family court might be happy, but otherwise, usually it's not a good time for people. They go there because they need child support monies, or they're behind on child support, or they're not getting along with their ex-spouse and they have contempt orders or behavior orders, or they go there because they no longer feel they want to love and live with the person they married, and there's children involved, and there's property involved, and pensions and houses and things concerning what happens with the children and what happens with the property. And so normally the family court judges are dealing with people, I would say 80% of the time, that are suffering and that are in pain. And what they need is somebody who can help facilitate a solution to the problem that always puts the child first. Because it's hard when you're mad at your former spouse because they have another girlfriend, or they moved, or whatever, they're doing drugs and they can't be in the home anymore, or they lost their job for gambling and left you broke, or whatever. It's hard to be kind. It's hard to be nice when you're suffering. On the other hand, if you have children and you brought those children into the world with someone, there's an obligation and a duty to try to work with that other person, whoever they are, with whatever weaknesses or strengths they have, on behalf of making life better for the children, because the best interests of your children will give them a chance to have a successful life, an education, a career, and to be better parents than you were. My goal, I've always told my own children, I come from child abuse. My mother was crazy with that belt. She was insane. She was abused, and her parents were abused, and that's how they disciplined children, was wicked with a belt, and a belt buckle and sticks and rice and things, and and smacks and pull hairs and slams and whatever. So my mother, when I was a child, was extremely physically abusive and mentally abusive, but I love my mother, and I learned to forgive her because I know that my mother did it because that's what she learned. And so as judges, we need to be able to identify families that are stressed out, that are using excessive physical violence towards their children to cope or to discipline or to instruct, because there has to be a fine line between you have a right to spank your children to teach them right from wrong. That's not the case, but there's an extreme that some people use that crosses that line of corporal punishment or parenting to abuse. And so a lot of the family court judges deal with that, and I'm not saying everybody in the court comes in abusing their children, but even some of the people you wouldn't expect, because that child abuse and drug abuse and gambling and sex addiction and gambling addiction and alcoholism does not distinguish between somebody's education, income level, ethnicity, or anything else. It affects everybody in the community. And as a family court judge, what I can say that I will bring to the table is a fair, understanding, but firm approach, so that you can tell your story and leave my courtroom knowing somebody heard you. I may not be able to give you what you want, just like I can't order what your ex-spouse wants all the time, but I can definitely give you a chance to speak, listen, and the one thing that I will do that's different from other judges is that I will always, when there is conflicting stories, and there's a lot of that, he said this, she said that, who's right? I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in your house, I don't know what goes on when you shut that door at night in your house or your apartment. I don't know. I only know what he said and she said. So when that happens, we need to rise to the occasion and try to make you bring the proof. We can't just believe one person because you look honest and you look dishonest. We have to have proof. And one of the things that I will do, because I have 30 years of experience working with probably 60,000 children as a teacher, as a counselor, as a social services person, is actually ask you, hey, bring your child in and give me 10 minutes to meet with your child. and I want to meet with your child, not so much for parental preference, because teenagers can say, well, I want to live with my mom, or I want to live with my dad, and we're supposed to take that under consideration. Even little kids can say, I like being with mommy, or I like being with daddy, but we also need to get to the bottom of why. What is it that they bring that preference to the table for? And what goes on, because there's a lot of people that are good at buying children with candy, with toys, with the Disneyland parent, and that is not long-term sustainable. So as a judge, I want to take the time to ask your child to help me understand, not so much whether mommy is lying or daddy is lying. No, I'm not going to pin your child up against you ever.
We would like to thank our guests for being here today for this program. Please make sure that you all go and vote on June 9th for our candidates for family court judge. Also, any information that you would like for our guests will be in the description box. And please make sure that you like and subscribe to DigitalWill for our updates and things of that nature that we are going to be providing for you all. We're all about the community, and so we're trying to bring you all more information and get you abreast on what is going on in the Las Vegas community. So please make sure you're liking and subscribing, and you will find information for today's show in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in.